Liz Moran from the New York Public Interest Research Group, thank you as always for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me today.
Of course. So there's a lot going on in New York in terms of environmental priorities. And we are in April, which means that we've had 4 months of the legislative session already. The state budget just passed in early April. Tell me what you saw in the state budget from an environmental perspective. What were you satisfied by? Was anything left out?
Yeah, this is such an important year for environmental priorities in New York State. As everyone is keenly aware, we're still in the midst of a pandemic, and this pandemic has really highlighted just how important it is to prioritize environmental protections, to fund environmental needs, especially as people are going outdoors more. We've become keenly aware just how important it is to have access to clean and safe water so we can wash our hands and prevent the spread of this illness. So this was a really key moment for the budget because investing in the environment is also a really crucial way to put jobs into our economy and get New Yorkers back to work. So there were a couple key things in the budget that showed this is a priority for New York. First thing, the legislature and the governor passed a $3 billion Environmental Bond Act. We're really excited about this. This will go to voters in the fall of 2022.
Next year.
That's right.
Okay.
And it will fund a variety of environmental needs. But what's critical about it is it'll fund the efforts we need to fight the climate crisis and to protect communities from what we're already seeing happen as a result of the climate crisis. New Yorkers are no stranger to increased flooding, more severe weather. So this Bond Act is designed to fund those initiatives, including for things like water infrastructure.
Well, that's what I was going to ask about. Is it stuff like newer infrastructure in terms of roads, or is it like subsidies for car makers? I assume that probably wouldn't be in there. Or is it just investing in production of cleaner, greener energy?
It'll go for a combination of things. Some will be new programs, some will be towards existing programs. One of the key pieces of this is funding to protection of lands that, like wetlands, for example. Wetlands are a natural barrier to protect water quality. There's also another program that was included in this year's budget, the Clean Water Infrastructure Act. This is a multi-billion-dollar program to fund a wide variety of water needs in New York State, which are huge. It's been estimated over the next 20 years, we'll need to invest $80 billion in drinking and wastewater infrastructure alone. And
wow.
Yeah, and with the climate crisis, we're seeing these greater fluctuations in weather, we're seeing frequent water main breaks, there's going to be more sewage overflows, so it's very important that we invest in this infrastructure to make sure the quality of our water stays clean and that we aren't discharging so much sewage into our waterways.
Speaking of our future, we have a few months left in this year's legislative session. I think that the list of environmental priorities is endless until we have clean air, clean water, hopefully our kids can grow up healthy. What would you like to see lawmakers do before the end of this year's session?
We have to fund the climate crisis. Now, I mentioned the Bond Act. That is one way to do it, but we firmly believe that it should not be everyday New Yorkers who have to pay to fight the climate crisis. There are well-endowed fossil fuel industries that spent billions of dollars over the course of decades lying about their role in causing the climate crisis. And frankly, they're the reason we are where we are today. So we believe they should be the ones to pay up. Now, there are a couple policies that have been proposed that we feel should pass that would hold those polluters accountable rather than everyday taxpayers. That includes the Climate and Community Investment Act, the CCIA, which would create polluter penalties. And then the other way to do this is by ending fossil fuel subsidies. New York State gives approximately $1.6 billion away every year in tax subsidies to the fossil fuel industry. We really need to start chipping away at those tax subsidies because why are we investing in an industry that we have to move away from?
So the CCIA, the first one that you mentioned that you want them to do before the end of session, it would create polluter penalties. How does that work? Is it based on how much they emit, the size of the company?
That's right. So it would be based on their pollution. So it would be both greenhouse gases and co-pollutants, which is really important because a lot of these industries have disproportionately polluted in Black and brown communities and what we call environmental justice communities. And this has led to far worse climate impacts in those communities, far worse air quality in those communities. So it would establish a fee on that pollution, $55 per ton. And then a good portion of that funding would go back into those same communities to make sure that there's a just transition, so those folks in those communities are employed in the new green economy, and that justice is ultimately served to these communities.
I assume that money would be used, like what we were talking about before, about water infrastructure and areas like that where Black and brown communities have really been left behind.
That's exactly right. It would go towards things like jobs programs to employ people from these communities in solar installation, for example. We work with a number of partners in New York City, environmental justice groups that have set up programs like that. So it would go towards creation of more programs like that.
All right, well, we will be watching that. Liz Moran, she's the Environmental Policy Director at NYPIRG. Thank you so much, as always, for being here.
Thanks, Dan.